All right. Well, joining us right now on the other side of baseball here in San Diego is the Aztecs. Get ready for the NCAA tournament. He's done a great job with the Aztecs. Let's face it, taken over under difficult circumstances. He was by the side of Tony Gwynn to help build this Aztec program. Now he's running the show, and they've never been better. Mark Martinez is joining us right now. Coach, how are you today?
Well, feeling pretty good about another conference championship, but feeling pretty good, but kind of calming down and starting to prepare for the weekend.
Well, the fact is, exactly. Now, Coach, obviously you've been there. This is, several times now to get to this level. Let's talk about experience gained by being in the tournament before and size up this year's team with some of the other teams recently that have made it to the NCAA tournament.
Well, I think for when I got here 12 years ago, I think that the main focus was to kind of get to a regional, and that was kind of, the elusive deal for a while, 18 years prior to 2009. And we got in as an at-large in 2009. That was the Steven Strasburg years. And, it was good to get there. We won a game in the conference or in the regionals, and it was great, but I think it kind of got us going the right direction, and then we started putting together some tournament championship wins, and, we've had 4 of the last 5 years we've done this, and, this team has done a great job, in all facets of the game, and what's really, I guess, kind of cool about this team is that it's truly a team. It's not a team that's loaded with the Strasburg, type guy or Addison Reed. And it's a group of guys that have kind of banded together to find ways to win baseball games. And I'm really proud of them. That it's a tough group, a tough-minded group of kids that are getting after it on the baseball field every day. So it's making our job a little bit easier, but it's been a lot of fun to be around them and enjoy kind of their success this past weekend.
Coach, how big of a rallying factor has Chad Bible, and what has Chad meant to you guys this year from a success standpoint?
That is just a great question. I mean, prior to his diagnosis, Chad had made an impact in our program. He is a dynamic personality. He's a great kid. He's an exceptionally hard worker. He brought some leadership into our program. His path, he went to Cal State Fullerton out of high school and, didn't play there and ended up going to junior college. And we got a chance to recruit him and convince him to come here. And it's just really been a great marriage, as far as him coming here and really impacting our program. And a lot of our success is that mindset that he brought in the fall. And that was before his diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when he was diagnosed, obviously he met that challenge, in a positive way and gave our guys obviously a rallying point. And he doesn't ask people to feel sorry for him. He's a guy that, he was at practice today and, trying to get our guys ready to go and, leading them on. And, but he has impacted our program and it's really unfortunate that this has happened. That is just such a fine young man, and we know that next year he's going to have an impact on our program. He's a guy that's going to sit in the middle of our lineup. I mean, if we had Chad Bible in our lineup, we had 321 of the team this season, which is pretty darn good. It's like 5th in the country, and if we would have this kid in the lineup, it would have been really, really dangerous. And so we miss him, but he's with us every single day, and we love him.
We're talking with San Diego State baseball coach Mark Martinez joining us as they get ready for their regional action. Talk about no respect for the Aztecs. You're the 4 seed out of 4. Long Beach State has won, UCLA 2. Texas is 3. You beat Long Beach State twice this year. You beat UCLA twice this year. But let's talk about that opening matchup with the Dirtbags, as they're affectionately called over there at Long Beach State. You've had a chance to play them a couple of times. What is going to be the big challenge going against Long Beach?
Well, I think the first thing is that, when we play them, it's a midweek game, and so you're not getting their full pitching staff, obviously. And so that's going to be the challenge for us. They have one of the best pitching staffs in the country. And so we have to be prepared, not only physically but mentally to manage at bat, pitch the pitch. We need to be able to make adjustments, pitch the pitch, and that is a very advanced style of hitting, and we went over it today, and we're gonna have to definitely be hooked up mentally. We can't throw away at bat. And the other challenge is that we can't afford to allow them to have free bases, so to speak, a walk, a hit batter, an error. They're historically, if you give them extra outs, they're going to make you pay, and they're going to punish you. And so those are some of the things that we're going to kind of go over, tomorrow and Thursday, and have a really good game plan. And hopefully we can kind of match them pitch for pitch. Our best pitcher's going that night, Brett Seeberger, and we feel very confident. We've done a great job on the mound, done a great job fielding, and that's going to be a good match. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
Mark, with the guys knowing what's, obviously at the end of the rainbow here, if they go on all the way, is it hard to keep them from putting too much pressure on themselves?
Broke up there. Can you repeat that?
Is it tough to keep the guys knowing what's, lies ahead for them, what's at the end of the rainbow, to keep them from putting too much pressure on themselves?
Yeah, I don't know if it's hard. I think it's just more of us trying to manage it. And we talk about process every day, and we try not to think about, what's at the end. We try to think of what's now and what's in front of them. And we've trained that way, since I've got here, and really been a point of emphasis for us. And we keep telling them, hey, you can't be picturing a dog pile. You got to win games to get to there. And so you got to focus on, the process, the at-bat, the pitch, whatever it might be. And we did a lot of that today during practice, and just kind of doing some really fine-tuning. We call it attention to detail, and focusing on that finite point of concentration and not thinking about the Omahas or the regional championship or super. We have to just think about winning today, and tomorrow we go to practice, same thing. And our guys have really done a great job of that. We had 41 wins. Yes, that's awesome. But we also had 18 losses. And I'd say, we gave away probably, this sounds, I think, a little arrogant, but I think we gave away 8 losses. But what was really good about that is that we rebounded very well throughout the season. And that even happened, in a smaller sense this weekend, at the conference tournament. We win our first 2, and we get in the championship bracket or championship game on Saturday, and we didn't play good at all. And I think what you're talking about is I think our guys were focused on the wrong thing. And they came back to the yard with a different, attitude and focus. And it wasn't the prettiest games that we played all year, but it was a mentally tough grind victory for our guys to have the opportunity to go play in a regional. So I'm very proud of them.
Coach, you've been around this sport for quite a while. Maybe you can explain this to me. Why does baseball have its draft right as the College World Series is going on? I mean, you talk about pressure on these guys, the idea of making it to the World Series, but the pressure of playing their best as the draft is approaching. Explain to me why they have done that. It's been forever, but why do they choose the middle of June while the World Series is going on to have the baseball draft?
Yeah, I wish I could answer that, and it does put undue pressure on kids, and it also takes away from their focus. What is, they might be in the middle of a regional or super regional or, like you said, World Series, and all of a sudden, they're drafted, they're thinking about their bonus, all that stuff, and they're not focusing on winning baseball games. And that's a challenge for any young man. To get that type of attention from Major League Baseball, and then all of a sudden be asked to go out and finish a college season without thinking about, who's going to help me negotiate my contract. All that stuff goes into play, and then all of a sudden you're standing up at the plate, and there's runners at second, third, and 1 out, and you're asked to drive them in. That's a very difficult thing, and I wish they would change it. And there has been talk about that, to have the draft after the College World Series, but I don't think we'll ever win that battle, because they need to fill rosters in those minor leagues, those rookie ball teams that, start here in June and fill up those rosters so those little minor league teams can go out and make money.
Coach,
Yes,
congratulations with what you guys have been able to do this year. And I think to get your season started off on the right foot next year, you need to have the loose cannons out for one of your early season games up there at Tony Gwynn Field to throw out the ceremonial first pitch.
You know what? Mark it down.
Okay.
That is done. That is 100% done. And prior to that game, we're going to ask you to come out and take some batting practice with us, too.
Oh God! Well, we want it to be a positive for everybody involved. I think I broke my arm. I'm not sure.
Wow.
Tell you what, if we find some magic in a bottle, we'll have to have you guys come out, next week even, and we can get you prepared for that opening.
Absolutely.
Next year.
We'll be there with bells on.
Well, Coach, best of luck, man. I have a good feeling about the Aztecs. Some of the experience of years past against teams like Long Beach, UCLA that you've beaten this year. Always good to go against a traditional power like Texas. Should be some exciting baseball. All the best, Coach. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, guys. And hey, go Aztecs. Let's go. Let's try and get a regional championship.
Thanks, Coach.
That would be phenomenal. There he is, Mark Martinez.